Hey guys, Tito Jeyms here. Welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. In this one, we're doing something a little different. We're taking a look at a PC case, the Montech Air 100 ARGB. Now before we begin, just a quick disclaimer. Hindi to review dahil hindi ako expert sa PC building. But I want to share you guys why I decided to purchase this case. And yes, I did buy this case with my own money. And with that disclaimer out of the way, let's do this. Now, the first reason why I picked up this case is because of its price. The Montech Air 100 ARGB is just 3,100 pesos. Pero kung ayaw nyo ng RGB, there's even a more affordable version of this case for 2,100, the Air 100 Lite. Now, speaking of Lazada, malapit na yung 11/11 sales. So here's a quick word from your tech bro, Cholo.
You know we all love gadgets here, and let's face it, they can be a bit pricey. I got my beloved PlayStation 5 from Sony's official Lazada store, and not a day goes by that I'm not using it. But of course, you can get it for much cheaper if you take advantage of all the vouchers, discounts, and all the biggest sales. With Lazada's 11/11 biggest one-day sale happening on November 11, you are sure to enjoy all their lowest prices. You can hunt for all your favorite products and add to cart as early as now. Talk about early Christmas shopping. And make sure that you have the Lazada bonus offer badge too, which you can collect from November 1 to 11. That's 50 pesos off for every 500 pesos spent. Plus, when you check out on 11/11, you can stack out all those discounts on all those vouchers and get some free shipping nationwide, 0 pesos minimum spent. So what are you waiting for? Add to cart now.
So now that the video is back to me, let's get to the second reason why I decided to pick up this case. It supports micro ATX builds. Because a bit of story time, guys, the previous case that I bought was much larger and my chosen PC components just felt like they were swimming around and it didn't look well aesthetically. So this one definitely fits my parts more. Maybe more isn't the right word. It fits my parts better. So let me show you what you can expect out of the Montech Air 100 ARGB. Now, the I/O on the case is up on top and you have your standard power and reset button, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and a USB 2.0 port. Now, I would have loved to see USB-C here, pero okay lang naman given the price of the case. The tempered glass panel on the Air 100 is slightly tinted for the black version. Yes, there is a white version for this case and it's slightly more expensive. And from what I heard, it's clear for the white one. A magnet keeps it shut and you do have a little handle on it para iwas fingerprints kung kailangan yung ayusin yung nasa loob, and you can fully remove the side panel if needed as well. Also, because of its name, Air 100, we can expect that the airflow for this case will be fantastic, which we can already kind of see thanks to the mesh front plate that should be great to intake air. And the top of the case is also perforated, which isn't really a new move on Montech's part, but it's a good move. The case does come with 4 120mm ARGB fans out of the box, and it actually has an included lighting controller at the back of the case that I'll show you later on. Now, in terms of fan support, 120mm is the max size that you can fit on this case. That goes for the front, top, and the back. And again, if you want to go with a non-RGB build, there is the Lite, but from what I know, it only comes with 2 case fans. Now, for those of you who are planning to use an AIO, the radiator supports for this is 280mm in front, 240 up on top, and on the back, it's 120mm. Now, when I first got this case, I thought na mukhang solid naman yung airflow as advertised, at least for my untrained PC builder eyes, but I did have some concerns that mostly had to do with dust filtration. Number one was that the front plate is perforated pero wala siyang fine dust filter, so I wasn't sure if the mesh would be enough to reduce the amount of dust that would enter the case this way. And number two is that while I appreciate that it came with a magnetic filter for the top, it was meant to go inside the case, so cleanup was going to be a bit of a hassle since I was planning to put fans for exhaust. There's also a dust filter for the power supply. I just forgot to take B-roll of it, but it's there. Now, one of the other reasons why I decided to get the Air 100 is because it has a basement, quote unquote, because my last case didn't, and cable management was a bit of a nightmare. Speaking of which, you do have some rubber grommets to pass through your cables, as well as some nice little cutouts to make things a bit easier. And I think I did a pretty good job with cable management, which I will show you later so you can kind of judge for yourself. Moving to the back of the case, you'll see that right now the cables look super neat for the Air 100. There are some Velcro straps and several points where you can use zip ties to help tame those cables. Like I said, you do have a lighting controller for all the fans that are installed on the case, and everything is already wired up. And from what I've read, you can easily attach this to your motherboard as well if you want to sync it to your software. There's also two SSD mounts on the back of the case should you need it, and they're held on by some tabs and thumb screws, so it will be pretty easy to install. Now, if you're still using those bigger drives, there is a bay on the bottom as well that can fit 2 hard drives, but there's only 1 caddy, and of course, you can also use this for more SSDs. You also have all the accessories for the case here, so that's all the screws, motherboard mounts, and some zip ties. Okay, so I think that pretty much does it for a general overview of the Montech Air 100 ARGB. Now I want to show you guys my build that's fully migrated into the case. I won't show you the process because I think it took me at least 4 hours to build everything because I am a noob and there was a lot of trial and error. But here it is. I think it looks fantastic. Again, all my components just fit better in this case. And while I did purchase the case for myself, our friends from GoodGame did send over a few upgrades for me and my rig. They sent over the Arctic Freezer 34 eSport so I could replace my stock AMD Wraith cooler, and Marvin of Tech B-Roll has a more in-depth video on this which you can check out by clicking the card on the corner of the screen. Now they also threw in 2 of their Arctic case fans which has no RGB, and that's okay since I think the 4 that are already included in the case gave off enough of a glow for my taste. Now speaking of RGB, I wasn't able to connect that lighting hub to the motherboard itself, but you can change the lighting effects by quickly pressing the reset button, so this will allow you to cycle through all the different modes it has. But I've been keeping it at this steady rainbow glow which is made nice and subtle thanks to that slightly tinted tempered glass panel. Now I didn't really run into any major issues with building in this case. There's a lot of room to work with even for my clumsy big hands, and all the minor ones were mostly, well, on my end. My cable management could use a bit more work as well. I could have definitely arranged things a bit better, but I did correct a few things before shooting this video. But the Velcro straps and all the cutouts definitely made things a lot more presentable in the end, at least where it matters. I did choose to remove the drive cages on the bottom since I really didn't need them, and mostly because I needed more space to stuff that cable mess. Now, after a few weeks of using my PC with the Air 100 ARGB, I'm pretty happy to say that the inside of my PC is still relatively clean. The front panel seems to be doing a good enough job at filtering dust. But I am still a bit disappointed about the magnetic filter on top of the case, which I know will be big trouble when I really want to deep clean my rig. And I think that's pretty much it for this video for the Montech Air 100 ARGB. Again, this is not a review, but I do want to give you guys a rundown of why I think you should consider this case. So number one, there's just a tremendous amount of value here. Again, $3,100 for the case that I'm using, $2,100 if you don't want all that RGB. Of course, there's variations if you want the white one. It's a bit more expensive. But this bleeds into my second reason. For the price that you're paying, I think this has everything you would need if you're considering building a micro ATX PC. And reason number three, let's just be honest, I think it looks good. Subjective point, yes, but that's just my personal opinion and why I chose this case. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, a first for me featuring a PC case on our channel. But if you liked it, give us a thumbs up, sub to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can. For all the latest in tech, head to unbox.ph, plus follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. My name is Tito Jeyms. Peace, God bless, see you guys next time, and stay safe.